As gas prices continue to hover around $4 a gallon, we're hearing a cry for relief at the pump. Many people see offshore drilling as the answer, where public support for it has risen by 18% over the last 3 years. Most people forget at what cost this extra oil can come at.
Turned out to be the worst environmental disaster in more than 20 years.
Thousands of gallons of crude oil are oozing into the Louisiana coastal waters 10 days now after that oil rig exploded in the Gulf of Mexico.
And this afternoon, rescue crews cleaned their first bird found coated with oil, which is being spilled at a rate of 5,000 barrels every day. It could take up to 3.
On April 20th, 2010, the offshore oil drilling rig Deepwater Horizon exploded. It killed 11 rig workers and released 5 million barrels, or 200 million gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico, making it the worst environmental disaster in U.S. history. It took 88 days to stop the leak, and 30,000 people to clean up the spill, but even then, only a quarter of the oil was recovered. Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, and Texas were all affected. Oil continues to be washed up on shores to this day, and we are still trying to understand the full extent of the environmental and economic impact. These examples show the environmental impact these spills can have. Many of the Gulf's 15,000 species were impacted during the BP oil spill. The damage to the ecosystem begins all the way at the seafloor. Coral reefs, which are a vital part of the ocean's ecosystem, became coated with oil and died. Researchers found that 86% of coral reefs near the spill were harmed. 8,000 animals were recovered after the spill, and it's estimated that 10 times that many were actually harmed. 6,000 of the recovered animals were birds. When the oil gets on their feathers, they lose the ability to shed water and makes it almost impossible for them to fly. It's hard for scientists to determine how many fish were killed, but the number is in the millions. Other mammals that were affected include bottlenose and spinner dolphins, sperm whales and melon-headed whales, and 4 different species of endangered turtles. Rescue efforts were able to save some of these. The impact of the spill goes beyond just the environmental aspect. The U.S. relies on the Gulf of Mexico for a third of all its seafood. After the spill, fishermen started finding fish with sores and lesions, shrimp without eyes, and clawless crabs. It was discovered that these mutations were the result of the toxic oil and the dispersants used afterwards. A third of the Gulf was closed to fishing in order to ensure the safety of seafood. This devastated the fishing industry, where it is estimated that the total lost revenue was close to $2.5 billion. Even after they opened it up a year later, fish catches were down all across the board. In Mississippi, it was reported that the crab harvest was down by 52% from the average. Tourism was another area hit hard after the spill. The white sandy beaches that states along the Gulf were so well known for were covered in oil and closed, resulting in the loss of millions of dollars. These spills are devastating, and for what are we putting ourselves at risk for? The oil gained from offshore drilling wouldn't affect gas prices until 10 years in the future, and then it would only lower the price a few cents per gallon. Turning away from non-renewable sources towards cleaner, more efficient energy sources is the only smart solution. Offshore drilling just isn't worth it.